Hello everyone, my name is Mace, and today we are covering some posts from r/IDontWorkHereLady. Just two quick announcements. So, I am changing the format just a little bit because of a recent post to all the major subreddits, and now I will only be covering stories that I have permission from the original poster to read. Other than this, my wedding is coming up very soon, so I just wanted to let you all know that if I post at all during my wedding, it'll be older stories that are not exactly new, so just a heads up there. With that out of the way, let's get started. This story is called, "I'm not robbing this house. I'm not the gardener either. This is my house," by Red Rover Laws. We moved into a new house a few years ago. 2 days after we settled in, it's a gorgeous day out, so I'm tending the garden. If you live in Louisiana, you'll realize that nice days are far and few between. It's hot and muggy. About 30 minutes after I start, this woman walks beside the house. She compliments my garden and asks how much my services cost. So, I told her, "Ma'am, I don't do services." About this time, my husband walks out and puts something into the car. So, all's perfectly fine, right? No. This woman decides to call the police and tell them that we're robbing the place. I don't know if her watching my husband caused that thinking as he was pulling stuff out of the house and into the vehicle or what. We were new neighbors, moved in like a few days prior, so you'd think that she would have seen us moving. 3 cops show up a few minutes after she left. We didn't know she called the cops. They pull up while both of us are wondering what the happened. Maybe someone we knew died or our kid got arrested. Neither. They said we were called in as an active robber. We had to prove it was ours. She didn't even talk to us about or mention robbery. Although, I guess in the moment, she just lost it. People are crazy here. Well, I must say, nothing says Southern hospitality and love thy neighbor like calling the cops on them because you don't bother to ask questions. Well, I've never seen you in this house before. You must be a robber. Let me just, 911, what is your emergency? Yes, there's some weird people in my next door neighbor's house. I know they were trying to sell it for a while, and then there was this U-Haul truck that dropped off their stuff, and now these weird people are ripping out the flowers and, putting stuff into a car. Ma'am, did you bother to ask them whether they own the house or not? Of course not. My Louisiana intuition tells me that they couldn't possibly be the new neighbors. Well, there's no doubt about it then. We'll send some officers right away. This story is called, "Excuse me! I know you work here!" Obviously not. By Sun Suede. Was told to post this here instead of in Tales from Retail. Sorry for any mistakes, as I'm on mobile. This happened while I was taking a CNA nurse's assistant class. One day, my boyfriend picked me up from school, and we decided to go and get some groceries while we were out. Mind you, I was in full scrubs, and I was also not in the best mood. So we're standing in an aisle, and I'm a few feet from my boyfriend looking at something on the shelf when I hear, "Excuse me? Excuse me!" behind me. I turn around, and it's this middle-aged woman yelling. Woman: "Excuse me!" Me: "What?" Woman: "Where are the command strips for frames?" Me: "I don't work here." She gets spooked, rolls her eyes like, "Oh, yeah, right," then asks me again. Woman: "Just tell me where the department is!" Me: "I don't know! I don't work here!" Woman: "I'm a customer here, and I'm about to spend $400 in this store!" I'm literally in scrubs, telling her I don't work here. I don't know what else to say to her, so I just start walking away. Woman: "Excuse me! I know you work here!" Me: "Yes, excuse you! I told you, I don't work here, lady! Leave me the alone! My boyfriend and I walked away after that, and luckily she didn't follow. How someone can be that obnoxious and stupid is beyond me. I sympathize with anyone who crosses paths with her. I like how Sunswade is in full scrubs, yet this woman thinks that, yep, that has to be an employee, 100%. There's no doubt about it. There couldn't be anyone else in this store that could possibly be an employee, and you cannot argue that fact. I will stop you. I will fight you. Excuse me, where are the command strips? This story is called Rude Mother at Walmart Yells at Deaf Girl by Coclear Cass. This happened when I was 20-ish, before 21 because American and wasn't old enough to buy alcohol. So yeah. I was at Walmart looking at the books while I was waiting for my friend to get off of work so I can drive her home. Just typical browsing, looking at the covers and then putting them back, etc. There were no other boxes or overstock near me, so it wasn't plausible that I was stocking the shelves. I was also wearing black leggings and a college logo t-shirt, so wasn't even in a uniform. I'll add in what was approximately said when someone was there to clue me in. Being deaf, I didn't hear anyone saying anything or even walking up behind me. I did, however, feel a finger tapping me on my shoulder. I turned around and looked at the woman with a questioning look on my face. She was talking at me, but I had no idea what she was trying to say. I tried to tell her I'm deaf and I can't hear her by pointing at my ears and shaking my head. She looked at me and reached at my ears. I later found out she thought I had headphones in and was trying to yank them out. This was before true wireless earbuds and no visible wires. So I naturally recoiled and backed away. This pissed her off. She started yelling. You can tell when someone starts yelling, even if you can't hear them. Apparently, she was yelling, "Don't act like you can't hear me, you little You need to do what I say or you're fired!" I still had no idea what was going on, so I started to walk away. She grabbed me by the shoulders roughly and started screaming again. "Don't walk away from me! I'm gonna get your manager and get you fired!" She then started yelling for a manager. My friend comes back and signs to me asking what was going on. I shook myself free of the woman and told my friend I didn't know. The woman started yelling that we were now flashing gang signs and were planning to kill her. Yeah, the two obvious middle upper class white girls totally in a gang. My friend tries to explain, "My friend is deaf and can't hear you. Please leave us alone." Before the mom can say more, her son walks up and says he's ready to go. His mom starts yelling about how she's not going anywhere until she gets her alcohol out of the locked cabinet. Figures. A manager walks up shortly after and asks what's going on. The woman says that I was rude, ignoring her, and not doing my job. Manager says I don't work there, but he'd be happy to help. She doesn't believe him and wants the store manager. The ASM is on duty, so he gets called out and says the same thing, that I don't work there. The mom rolls her eyes and my friend and I walk away. All the while, she's yelling at me to get back there and do my job, and how it's a conspiracy to make her look stupid. She did that herself just fine, by herself. On our way out, we see her being escorted by police officers in handcuffs. Apparently, she pushed one of the workers. I was asked if I wanted to press charges for assault, but I didn't care, and I didn't want her getting locked away for too long, since I didn't know if she was a single mother or not, and going into the system sucks, so I didn't want the kid to get overly punished. My friend disagreed with me, but understood my reasoning. Took me months before I was able to go back into the Walmart by myself. Well, I must say, you definitely took the moral high ground in this situation. I must applaud you for that, as not many people would do the same. However, I do have a question. After this whole ordeal, did you, get into contact with your gang and, have them give her a visit? somewhere behind that Walmart, teaching her a lesson about laying her hands on people. If you can't tell me for legal reasons, I understand. I do want to thank everyone for watching. I also want to thank our lovely posters for allowing me to read their stories. I am by no means a professional, but I hope I was able to do your stories justice. I do have another poll for you all today as well. So, other than Reddit, what other social medias do you use to primarily keep tabs on other YouTubers? I would like to start getting more social with you all if I can, but I am basically out of the loop on what people mainly use. When I live streamed, I used Twitter. I don't know anyone who uses Twitter at this point, but if what you guys use isn't in the list for the poll, let me know down in the comments. If you like what you watched, let me know by leaving me a like and a comment, and let me know what I should cover next. If you didn't like it, please tell me how I can improve. I got a few comments lately, but they were just sort of criticizing me, but they couldn't tell me how I can do better. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful day.